Hey associates, this video is the ride along, the speed build of me doing that poster replication project to really just practice and have to use all the tools in Canva. Or you can use another platform. I recommend Canva, Adobe Express, something like that. And so just starting out here, dropping all of that content. I already gave you the words that copy directly into my blank Canva platform. Grabbing a just regular shape, square, doing that eyedropper tool to get the color. And this is then where I'm going to, just start placing in the different text that I know that will be up in that header area. So I always like to start, or I recommend starting this, getting all your kind of key content in one place, and then we'll go back and do more of the refining afterwards. It's really nice with Canva, right? Every text box is just its own highly manipulable thing, and so dropping that in with the bullet points, getting the second half that I know will be the other column, applying the bullet point formatting, and then I am just rearranging everything that I know I want to place or resize in a specific way into its own text box. I'm just doing a little bit of drag and drop there and grabbing kind of this border. I noticed that there is kind of a rough wavy edge on that, so I was just searching to see if I could find an asset that kind of looked like it already, but I didn't. And we'll see how I go back and kind of solve that problem later. For this assignment, I also want you to change the colors to be the UCCS gold and black palette, but for now I am replicating it as close as I can by using the eyedropper, just because I think it makes it easier. In terms of the official seal, I'm just getting a seal through the assets that looks like it. Do note which ones are premium. I do have a pro Canva account, so I am able / I already pay for a lot more content, so find a seal that just gives it a close look. And changing the font of the Osha, so again, it's some of the fonts are serif, some are sans serif, so you got to pay attention to that and know how to change, manipulate as you need. Getting that little copyright symbol in, and then starting to work on this job safety health, and just the placement of the rest of the little official seals and borders in my header. Adjusting the size there, adjust the letter spacing, so that way they the J, the O are closer to each other, so that way I could get the whole design in a little bit tighter. I'm just going to see if there is a font that I felt looks a little bit closer in terms of that sans serif. Again, playing with the letter spacing, line spacing, so that way I can get it into that more justified kind of look and area. So by doing that, now I'm able to get that clear box, just by kind of spreading it all out a little bit. And resizing. All right, easy. Just like in Word and whatnot, Canva has, the basic formatting, so bolding, going through and erasing or deleting those extra line breaks that had bullets on them. And at this stage, there's not too much to say. Just dragging, dropping, playing around. And so for this assignment, right, in Canva or whatever very kind of info design, graphic design tool you want to use, it is just that challenge to make sure you can play around, manipulate font size and the overall look, make sure you can manipulate colors, be able to layer, use graphics, just kind of forces us to practice all of the sort of tools at our disposal inside of these platforms as a really great way to learn it. All right, so now I'm working on that kind of construction worker graphic. I just searched silhouette and am pulling a few different options so you can get kind of the look, the feel, get it as close as possible, sort of approximate what that vibe is. So I'm kind of looking for someone who's maybe like pushing something right now. That way I can get that kind of middle person that is, you know, kind of oriented in the middle. And so I picked one option there. I'm like, that could work. Kind of going back to some past options. And then I grab this wheelbarrow, which is, I think, the one I end up choosing, because you're pushing wheelbarrows, kind of the same vibe, similar thing as pushing kind of the moving boxes, and I didn't really see anything closer or better than that. So now I'm going to have to change things like the orientation and the layering, right, to get them kind of in that same sort of order and style. I just wanted, you know, flipped that one horizontally, so it's just going the other direction, doing a little bit of sizing, repositioning, a lot of, you know, information design, thinking about the proximity, the distance, alignments, a lot of just sort of scooching things around, so that way we're guiding the reader's eye. And I'm in the layering tab, so I can I put the footer box in front of all of my other little positions, and then just making sure that they are also in the proper layer order themselves. Here I'm looking for that rough border, so I can fix the boxes, and so I just found a little rough border edge, made it match, so it's the exact same color. I tried to resize it, but it kind of got a little bit small here. And so I brought it back up and then just decided to crop it to the size that I needed. We can see now I have that matching rough border. I just do the same thing up at the top where they had kind of that little paintbrush, and just change it to be a matching color. So that way, yeah, it all kind of looks alike, and just manipulating those different elements there. Adding in just the plain black circle for those dots that they have in that footer there, and I'm grouping them all and just having it tidy things up vertically so they all are in line, letting the tool kind of handle it for me. Now I'm just searching for, you can see that kind of like serial number, sort of code number in the footer, and so just looking for like basically a series of numbers, and settled on just like this idea of a barcode to put in that edge, just to give it that little sort of serialized identifier in the corner. All right, so now I'm going to start working on the Osha O, and it has a lot of overlapping sort of just circles in the middle of it. So zooming in, zooming out, so I can get some really, fine sort of tuning on it there. And like in Canva, if you hold down Alt, it will stop snapping as much as well, and so it can be a little bit easier to get zoom in, hold Alt, and you'll be able to manipulate and move kind of these things around a little bit more easily. And so, right, when I zoom back out, I'm like, yeah, that pretty much looks like the Osha O. Great. All right, so now I'm doing kind of a check of things. I think I got all of the key content, so I just need to change the colors. There, I did cheat a little bit. Since I have a pro account, I do have a brand already selected, so I have all of the UCCS color schemes saved as a brand profile in my Canva account. So I like to use that style tab, just like to get it universal. And now I'm just going through and relayering, adjusting, changing the colors of things, so that it just looks kind of the best contrast that it can. The gold and the white is really tough contrast for our color scheme, actually. So changing all of those, and just kind of, just going in and changing, playing with, making sure it's all the gray, gold, and black colors that it gave you as part of that replication. Okay, and here is kind of that final version. Just get it, as close as we possibly can, but I also want you to change the colors of it. And the goal is just to practice with all of the tools available in our graphic and info design software.